Happy to welcome to the Sunrise Morning Show Neemat Frem. He's a trustee with In Defense of Christians, a former member of Lebanon's parliament, and recently spoke at IDC's National Summit last week. Neemat, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, good morning.
Now,
thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's an honor to have you. Now, as I said, you are a former member of Lebanon's parliament because you resigned last year. Why did you resign? Tell us about that.
Well, first of all, I could not stay and witness what was happening. We were driving Lebanon to hell, and we couldn't change this course. I did do as much as I could in 2 years of my mandate because I was a newly elected MP. I was chairing the Economic and Planning Committee of Lebanon in the parliament, and I refused. I saw what was happening, what was going to happen, and we did develop plans to escape this thing, but nobody listened. And today, we are in a situation where Lebanon is almost a failed state. People are suffering, and a mass exodus is happening. Lebanon's beautiful, glamorous Lebanon is today dark, dull. Our infrastructure is disappearing. The beautiful hub, a fantastic hub of the Middle East of medical and educational sectors is disappearing as we speak. Our best doctors are leaving. 50% of the doctors of Lebanon have left already. All of this because we lived against nature. We have been consuming without producing in the last 20 years. We have a political cancer within us that was eating us for the last 20 years, and today this is the result. And definitely the point that made me leave was the explosion of the port of Beirut, where I could see that with all of this very bad management style and governance style, we were starting to kill people because the explosion of Beirut destroyed Beirut basically and killed 250 people. And if it was not of a very special for me, and here on the Sunrise Show on your Sacred Heart radio, I tell you, if it was not of special miracles, I know of 10,000, 100, maybe 50,000 miracles that saved people. Otherwise, we would have had maybe 200,000 dead.
Wow.
So it was really something.
Can you tell us about your experience that day? Where were you when that explosion happened at the port of Beirut?
I was in the mountain and where I live, so I was like 30 kilometers away from Beirut. I heard the explosion. I didn't hear it strongly because I was in a place where I didn't hear it much, but everything shaked. And then I started to realize that something was happening. I thought it was an airplane bombing somewhere. And then I started to have calls from cousins, very close people to me, saying that they are not able to talk to their wife. For instance, my first cousin was not able to reach his wife, and my first cousin the other one was not able to reach his brother. And then we started to try to understand where they are. And in half an hour, we understood that we have lost a lot of people. We tried to reach them. We could not reach Beirut because of the traffic, because of the destruction. We had to use small Vespas to pass through all the destruction. We were able to evacuate as much as we can, but hospitals, emergencies were overrun because everybody was, because of the glass destruction. The glasses and sharpeners, a lot of people were bleeding, like thousands and thousands. But thank God, when you look at all of this thing, I lost very dear ones, very close to me.
I'm so sorry.
The wife of my first cousin, we found her at 11 o'clock at night. She was dead, basically. I did, thank God the others were saved of my family. Some friends, one person, very close friend, we kept on searching for him until early morning. He was in a corridor in a hospital with a respirator on him. He was brain dead. Nobody knew his name, actually. We show him on Instagram.
Wow.
So we had to. It was a disaster with his sister. He was not married. He didn't have children. Luckily, he didn't have children, but it was really painful.
I am so sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
I want to ask you and turn back to the political situation, because clearly you must have felt that being a member of parliament was going to be less effective than not being a member of parliament. Can you give us a sort of an insider's look at what happens or what has been happening in Lebanon's government, and why the government is incapable of saving the country?
Yes. First of all, you put it right. I felt that being outside the parliament might give me, or it gave me, and I was sure of that, a huge margin of maneuvering and a new start to create enough momentum to build a movement that we built it. We called it Project Homeland, to rebuild Lebanon and rethink Lebanon, because we feel that we have two major problems in Lebanon today. First one is the quality of the leadership. No doubt about it. Our leadership today in the political arena in Lebanon are the fruit of the civil war. The civil war ended in 1990-91, but they continued. They recycled themselves from being warlords to becoming political party leaders, and from there, we're into governance of Lebanon. So this is the first problem. On top of that, you've got interference from the region, from Iran, from Syria, from all around the area, where political parties are being funded, and those political parties became doing the priorities and the agendas of those that pay them, and not the Lebanese people. Second problem is the system itself. There are some flaws in the system where the decision-making processes is very easily stalled, because it's become Lebanon after 1991. Our democracy became so consensual that it blocks itself very easily. So it is, I would call it, a sort of a vetocracy. So every person has the right of veto. Because of that, we ended up doing nothing, and our debt was increasing, our deficit was increasing, our infrastructure was decaying, and the whole political establishment was not regenerating itself, and we couldn't do much. So we have to work on both ends.
Yes.
And this is why rethinking Lebanon, how do we make it more stable? How do we make it more productive? How do we make it more free from its surrounding? Is our objective in this new movement.
Which is exactly the work that In Defense of Christians is trying to put forward. We've been talking to Neemat Frem, who is a former member of parliament in Lebanon and a trustee with In Defense of Christians, which is linked at sunrisemorningshow.com. Neemat, I wish we had more time to continue to unpack this, but really appreciate your thoughts this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.